think about this thing and think about this company. Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road, and we are in stage 3 of our this presentation, where marketing meets sales development reps or telecallers or inside sales team people, whatever you want to call them. Basically what they found that ABM programs which performed better collaborated more with sales teams. And the confusion I have is, like, if you're running an ABM program, how you cannot collaborate with the sales team? Otherwise, you will only stop at the lead part and you will not go all the way along, right? So marketing needs to go all the way along, and they need to collaborate with sales. And this is another example on how, so AE is the final person who sets up the meeting and takes things forward, like who goes in the meeting, and SDRs are telecallers, inside sales people, whatever you want to call them. And the objectives of the person who want to do the meeting, he tells your inside sales people or the marketing team, everyone, like, I'm targeting these 30 accounts in this quarter or these 10 accounts in this month, and what will be the messaging on these 10 accounts, right? And SDR's goal is to call on them, and after marketing has given them data, okay, these people have engaged with them, and then there is further how SDR can execute it, and we're going to show this thing to you next. So this is sample objectives for salespeople that marketing can come sit and show to them or tell them. And what they found was, ask your SDRs to call on more people, right? It asks your marketing people to focus on more contacts per account. It just shows higher ROI, more success. So this is an interesting tip. Also, so you have inbound leads also coming while you're doing an account-based marketing program. So what your goal is, you have to tell these people, your inside sales people, that 80% of your focus is on outbound prospecting on the named accounts you want to go after, and only 10 to 20% on the requests that we are coming, unless the inbound leads are from these accounts, right? And I'm gonna further in the slide in the tech stack section show how you can kind of self-manage the inbound leads automatically and not have a lot of SDRs involved into it. So this is a outbound touch pattern. So what you can say is, on the left side, if you see, they have steps. So the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and each step, so let's say step 1 and 2 you can do on day 1, right? And over here you do pre-call research, and you work with the account executive to say what messaging, because account executives know their market, they know the target clients they're going after, so they can give you the messaging of that, right? So that is it, and you can go through what the step 3, step 4, step 6 is. This is another similar kind of thing when you're marketing an event. So right now it's coronavirus time, so there's not a lot of events happening. But let's say you're promoting a roundtable, event. So what will be the plan? This is a sample plan. You can screenshot it or use this, and how your SDRs can approach everyone in step-by-step format and when to execute that. And even what you can do is you can make a daily to-do list for your telecallers or your inside sales people, and this is a sample to-do list, and ask them to execute on that. And you can, even if you have a CRM that has a workflow for SDRs, you can put all of this there as well, so that they don't have to put much brain into it. But this is a printout you can give them for their test. So this is a pro tip. So what they say is that have each SDR only focus on 2 industries, so that they become an expert in that industry, right? And try to make sure the account executive, the meeting people, I don't know what's the dynamic in your team or what will be the dynamic inside our client company, but let's say we as BizAmps, when we're working with a client, make sure to understand that if SDRs or inside telecalling people they don't become the assistants of the meeting people, because they are not, otherwise they won't be able to do their job. And this is one thing this lady also told. Okay, yeah, and this is another job of marketing or as our company. We have to tell them what kind of messaging not to do and what kind of messaging to do for the SDRs, let's say developing their scripts with them, developing their emails with them, and educating them. It's a very big part of it. So that, if they get the meeting, the job of sales is done, job of marketing is done, and job of company goals are met. Well, this was Mark was the chief revenue officer at HubSpot, and this is interesting. So what they found was that in an inbound lead, the lead who has come to me, it took me as HubSpot around 12 to 14 attempts to get in touch with that lead. So we have to kind of educate the salespeople. It will take a lot of touches, because even cracking inbound leads can take a lot of touches. But here's a good thing. What they found was that more companies are deploying more tech apps and they're buying more these days. So the buyer is sophisticated also, right? So you can ask them how they want to go through the journey. And wouldn't we as buyers want that too? And we as marketing, what we can do is, let's say a buyer, named account, comes on our website and does a lot of activities like submits the forms, signs up for an event or stuff like that. So we can give this notification, like you can see on the screen, to the sales people, like what happened, what is the updated stuff about that, with contact information, with engagement information, and even with intent data. And we're gonna talk what intent data is. But intent data is more like, so what these companies do is they have cookies stored on computers of these big companies, and they know which cookie is stored on which IP address, and they can map the company along with that, and they can see where did this cookie showed up again and again. Let's say they showed up on Forbes regarding cybersecurity, they showed up on other websites on cybersecurity, so they know this company might be looking for cybersecurity solutions. So they make a database, like there are tools like that, like I'm not so sure. There are tools like demand-based, Lattice engines and stuff like that. They make a list of it and they sell this data of this company is looking for this solution. So this is called intent data, and this is how it comes from. So we are in section 4, tech stack. And if you are a company listening this, then I want you to know that don't get overwhelmed by the tech stack in the starting. You can keep it nothing at all, very lean with your current tools. But it's good to know what this tech stack does, and I'm going to show you what it does and how they are broken down. So this is a diagram by Topo. So what they have done, if you see on the left, is like 6 sections. There are tools for marketing engagement, sales enablement for your telecallers, for content, for measurement, for getting the data, and the infrastructure as a whole. So, and they further divided it into multiple stuff. And on the right side, I have said, initially you can look at this tech stack as vendors, if you're not very well aware. So for ads, you can use things like demand-based Terminus, Roadworks, and even LinkedIn ads to target specific companies. For direct mail, which should be a very big part of your account-based marketing, you can look at PrintingforLess and Alyce as solutions. And what they do is they're one-click solutions. So you can integrate it into your Salesforce or your CRM, your Marketo, and you can click to send a particular direct mail to the person automatically. So SDR can do it, your telecaller can do it with a click of a button. Then is for social. In-mails are a huge thing. They must be in for your telecallers, for your SDR. You must have them sending in-mails along with voice calls, along with emails, right? So for that, social, that's there. For video, if you are doing it, and it's very easy to do it, the solutions that can templatize the whole video experience for that consumer. You can use Vidyard, and you can send tracked video, like how much did that person watch the video, did it drop off and stuff like that. Then is for content. I showed you before in the content section, UberFlip and Pathfactory, what they look like and what purpose they serve. For intent data, like I just discussed, you can use Lattice engine, Bambora and Vainu, right? And for reporting, there's a tool called Bizible. And this is just an initial list you can look at alternatives, right? Okay, if you remember, we asked our telecallers to only focus on named accounts, on reaching out, doing the uncomfortable stuff. What happens to your inbound leads if you have a small team? And this is a system that Fluke, a manufacturing company, electrical manufacturing company, used. And these days the thermometers are everywhere to check your temperature without touching you, or that temperature gun. So this is what they do. So they have all the inbound leads, they put it into their marketing automation system, and what they do is they enrich that data with Lattice engines to get intent data and other kind of data with it, and then they put that data into the CRM. So CRM data is now in a very nice, good quality data, and they see if the what they do is they send, if it's qualified, then they put meters in the CRM. If it is qualified, then they send it to a AI sales automation tool. So what this tool does is automatically sends email to set up appointment for them. The name of the tool is Conversica, and what the tool does, it sets up appointments for the salespeople, for the account executives. And if those people don't reply to us, then we put them back into the whole nurture sequence. You can see back in Eloqua here on nurture, and try to re-engage with them. But if they set up a meeting, of course, then we directly pass them on to account executives. And you can, the key thing is over here in the CRM section, the rules you have, right? So you can save SDRs time and make sure high quality leads are still going to the right person. Okay, now so we are in the final stage of the presentation. So there are 7 quick points that I want you to know. Number one, usually in organization, sometimes sales think that marketing is doing everything wrong and not actually helping them. So there's that dynamic we have to keep in mind. Second, there is no ABM without sales buying in, and going forward I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. Mostly I might be doing that with the client. Third, it's very important to educate the company internally again and again with our communication about how ABM works and why it is needed, because it is a new thing. We are now focusing on accounts rather than our own services and products, and there are also a lot of other dynamics involved over here. Fourth is SDRs or telecallers inside the company. We need to think of themselves as an extension of our marketing team. Without them, our campaigns will fail. So we have to make them more productive, and we might be always looking in how we can take some of their work away, right, so that they're more productive on doing more high value tasks. Also, it's noted that if we do more than one type of account-based marketing, like one to few and one to many, the return of investment is higher. So we should keep that at back of our mind. Sixth point is, sometimes what happens is whatever our service or our client service is or their product, the buyers actually might not have a need for that at that moment. So we as content creators or graphic designer, whoever in our team, have to strategize for that and keep that in mind, and address that objections head on. And seventh is that the buyers of these days, buyers are very sophisticated. They first want to know about you from their own, then they want to know about you from multiple places, and then only then they might be receptive to the outreach. And even though outreach, it should be very short and sweet, and they are always trying to minimize messages and communication with outside vendors, right? Okay, the step number one is we must establish a successful charter. So this is the step one of all account-based marketing programs, because it's a collaboration between sales and marketing, and even customer success if we're upselling and cross-selling. So the point number one is, and this thing I might be doing, or whoever leader in your organization and that person be doing, but it's like to first define across marketing, sales, and even customer successes, what is your company goal? Is it to grow accounts right now? Is it to cross-sell, upsell? It is to get new accounts, new logo accounts, or is it to defend base? Like you have certain clients, but other companies are trying to get them, right? Second is we will be asking for resources from sales team. So we'll be asking them, we will require an inside sales person, we will require the person who takes meetings, we need their time to do a lot of brainstorming. So For that we need their buy-in, and we're gonna tell them what we're gonna do with that. So one thing we're gonna do that is workshops on identifying the target accounts, and we're gonna dig deep what we are gonna do that. Workshop with the SDRs on managing their workflow and collaborating them with marketing. So that plan needs to be there step by step, and it needs the sign off of the sales team as well. And third, we will be sourcing insights from account executives or their sales people, because as I have heard, it's like the salt in every recipe. Without insights from the sales people, the messaging won't be right. And in fact, there was this company, what they did was every time they had some sort of communication, their sales people have some sort of communication with their target accounts, they used to go back to marketing and tell them, this is an insight, quickly put it in their landing page, right? And so that thing needs to be there, but we need to fetch those insights, and it's going to take time away from those sales people. And fourth is we have to establish like which campaign metrics are we tracking, right? And there will be some sales will be pushing their metrics, marketing will be like, okay, not our metrics. So that's a difficult thing to juggle, but it could be win rate, deal size, velocity of leads, reputation, relationship with your target accounts, revenue, of course. And when you will be asking resources from everyone, it's somehow you will be asking them for their buy-in. So there are ways to do that also, and we're gonna go through them, right? Is selecting accounts, and this thing will decide everything from content to graphics, on which channels we use, everything, how we go forward. So the very first thing is we need to ask marketing to bring their engagement data, that we think which accounts are engaged. Then we ask sales people to bring their data that they think is the right fit for us and which they're going after, or if they have any CRM data. And then we ask third-party vendors to give us intent data, and we can easily combine it with in an Excel, and not to get overcomplicated over here. But yes, then what we do is we map out which are, like, say, the top 30 accounts we are going after. And then we add on to other variables as well. So for example, other variables could be the size of the company is pretty standard, the technology which companies use. In the past, we can ask the company which opportunities do you think have converted that you have won, rather which you have lost, so that we focus more on the one kind of accounts. Then we can ask which of the accounts have churned, so that we remove those accounts that have churned and have similar characteristics of the churned accounts. Then we can ask which accounts do you see that you think usually convert very fast, so we can include that. And there was this another company that said they found a direct correlation between the target accounts they're going after, if they are in a certain Alexa rank range, and if they were founded in a certain range. So they found that, and that's a key piece of insights for them. And then you can look for other signals like are they hiring, or if there's any financial news. And slide next to this, I'm going to show that to you. And over here we have a sample profile, and we can see everything that we want to know about this person and which kind of content he's consuming, what is his behavior with us, with internet in general, and about his company. And we can give this data off to salespeople, and they can use this to make up their mind what kind of conversation they want to have with them. And we can add manual data on top of that, especially the companies have research team where, for example, if I'm a chatbot company, so what I can say is if a company has free trial on their website, I can go tell them that my bot knows how to convert free trial at a higher conversion rate. So that's a right fit that we think, and there are other metrics we can add on to it. Then we can have signals. So for example, if the company has laid off some people, and I'm an outsourcing company, so I can quickly go there and say, you have laid off some people, maybe not address that, but we know they have laid off people, so they need to get the work done, and we can go and say, we are a good provider for that, and there's a clear signal that can trigger our outreach. So this is a matrix by Marketo. Yes. So what they have is over here they have mapped the engagement from the marketing, and over here they have account score from not only third party like intent data, but you can add on your CRM data or the accounts you want to go after. So over here they said the accounts that have the highest intent over here, and which have the highest marketing engagement with our website, that's the one where we're gonna put most of our resources. And over there they can do a one-to-one account-based marketing program, while in the B part they will do one-to-few, and C part they can do one-to-many. And it's pretty clear from the graphic itself that they will bid high on some sort of accounts. They will send them first class priority direct mail. They will call them first, and they will get them to VIP events and stuff like that. Now this is, if you have read the book Challenger Sale or Challenger Customer, so what they say that in account-based marketing we have to go all the way through, from generating the lead to converting the lead. So which kind of content resonates with the people depending on which buyer journey they are in. So if you see over in the activity section, in the first section, is it pre-qualified people give them insight into opportunity or risk, while in qualified people ask them thought-provoking questions. I'm going to give you examples, so don't worry about that. In the discovery stage there's something else. In the negotiate stage, show them ROI. In the implement stage, present them pricing and stuff like that. So go through it, pause it, and over here you can see from which YouTube name video I have